Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner. This is actually a very, 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 very special episode of VSW. I'm here with Mike Panchu. We're sitting here. We're going to talk a little bit about mental health. It's a very different format than our normal show, if you've listened to it. There's a lot of curtains down on this one. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And we can do this more regularly. We're going to hopefully get in guests. Because it is a big topic, not just in the regular world, but in the wrestling world, in the regular world. Wherever you go, mental health is there. It is important. So let's go and discuss some things, huh?
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better, Stoner. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It may seem like we're just two voices into the void, but our hope is that by us speaking up about the topic, more and more people will speak up about the topic to further break down this stigma for years to come.
Oh, for sure. 20 years ago, this was a huge stigma. Today, it's still a stigma, but it is getting a lot less. People are starting to, notice that, mental illness, mental health, mental awareness, stress, all of those things are all part of daily life. And, they're allowing people to, be able to take care of themselves. They're giving people the time to take care of themselves, which they weren't 20 years ago, I'll tell you that much. They was just go, go, go. If you were mental, you're going off to a hospital, you're gone. That's it. And
we definitely elaborated on that from our previous conversation. It seems like in very Americanized families that fully immerse the American culture, they accept mental health. It's pretty normalized in their families, but for other families who still hold on to roots back home, the mental health is still a very gray area.
It is, there is that whole, there's a stigma within, I want to say, ethnic families, whether it be, Indian, Asian, Chinese, Italian, French even. It doesn't really matter. If you have these ethnic backgrounds and you're still, like you said, these old world ties, mental health is still looked and frowned upon greatly. I know within my Italian roots, it really is. We don't talk about it much. It's not something we discuss on Sunday dinner. I'm not going to go around saying, hey, I'm anxious today. Because I myself suffer from post-traumatic, stress, generalized anxiety, depression, anxiety, other anxiety disorders. I don't discuss that at Sunday dinner. That's not something we talk about here. And in front of the family, really. Behind closed doors, maybe a little bit here and there as, the world has opened up and, other family members suffer from the same ailments, but for the most part, it's very, personalized to myself and actually with just, the friends that know me that I sit around and talk to these things about. And I do that. But, what's your experience like, Panchu, with it all?
I definitely had my experience with it. Growing up, I suffered from social anxiety in a way. Very shy, very socially anxious kid. Had a huge fear of public speaking, and I just couldn't talk to family about these things. They would just say, shake it off, drink some water, or you're possessed, or don't worry about it. They just wouldn't, validate that you had some, trouble mentally, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah. And I think as you've probably grown into adulthood and you saw, maybe you've met other friends, maybe you've talked to other people that were suffering from the same ailment, the social anxiety, which is a very, very, dominant force in the workforce, in, daily life. It's prevalent out there. There's a lot of people with social anxiety, and I think even more so now with the pandemic that it's taken place. A lot more people have gotten into staying socially distant. So, they've gotten used to it and they've kind of gotten a liking to it. And if any fears of going back to society is now coming out, if they didn't have it already.
Definitely. I agree 100%. I do really think stuff like this should be normalized, and seeking out help, it doesn't mean you're weak. That's the thought process of the older generation. I view it as a sign of strength, you should seek out help to better yourself so you can just function as a human being 365 days a year.
Definitely, most definitely, there's ways to take care of yourself mentally, even if you suffer from mental health issues that require intervention, either it be, professional, medical, therapy, whatever it is. But there's self things that you can do yourself, just at home, just in your daily life, that can, make things more manageable. I myself do, some CBT work. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's cognitive behavioral therapy, and it works with, a way of snapping into the present when my mind is in a million different directions, whether
That's
it's in the future, the past. It snaps me back in right now, right here. And this allows me to refocus and regain my strength of what I'm doing, and I can regather my thought process and not deal with all the anxiety and fear that I'm thinking about. And this is just something that I've learned. You can Google it, you can search it. It's easily available. It's free information. Or you can go to your library, grab a book about it, CBT. And basically, it's helped me, and that's something that I've done on my own. Just talking to friends that have used self-help books, and I picked up a few and just, went through that. And so like I said, there is things you can do at home, even if it's, even if you need interventional help. Like I said, medication. My anxiety is too bad. I do need medicine for it. I have not gotten to the point where I can say I'm completely dependent of any prescription medication. It's better for me to do this than to self-medicate, in my opinion. I could have easily went that route with alcohol or other drugs and, dealt with my anxiety and depression that way. Instead, I did seek out, a doctor. I talked to them. They said, we made a game plan. I continue getting help. It's gotten better over the years, I'll say that. But, during the pandemic, it has, backslid a little bit. And, doing these podcasts, getting more of myself back out there, it's been helping me mentally and emotionally get back to where I need to be, strength-wise.
I do want to elaborate more on the alcohol. It seems like a lot of people turn to booze to, deal with mental health. But in a way, I feel like it's, this false illusion.
Oh, it is and a half. It is the double-edged sword, for that, whatever it is that you're drinking, or, you reach a certain plateau of, euphoria and happiness from the alcohol, and then it turns right into the depressant that it is. And any issues that you had before are only now going to be intensified, only now going to be doubled and tripled, quadrupled, even worse, depending on how bad it gets. You could black out, hit somebody in a car, never know anything, your life is over just because, you went too far. But just on a regular, going out and having some drinks, it's not going to help you. It might help you for that hour, but in the long run, it's not. There is better coping methods. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. If I have to pick a substance to use in an emergency or a pinch, I honestly do prefer marijuana over the booze, just because I don't get the hangover. I can do it without the THC. So there is, straight CBD products out there in vapes or with low THC that, when inhaled and when vaporized is excellent for anxiety and panic without all the, stoner giggles and jiggles and whatever else may be that you might be not wanting to experience. That's another option. Like I said, I'm not going to lie here and say I don't do that. I do. I am the Versace stoner for a reason. But with that, it's not for everybody. It's not the cure-all. I'm not going to say, hey, everybody, go out, buy yourself some weed right now. Get rid of your anxiety issues. It's going to help you. It's not. It's for, depending on, there's a lot even involved in that with strain specific, what are your effects you're looking for, different terpenes. I could do a whole podcast just on that alone of finding the right dosage and stuff to aid your ailment.
I'd be down to listen to that.
But, it's not something I can just say, hey, jump on this right now, it's going to cure you, because it might help you. But without, the right, doing it for the right reasons, it's not going to be a savior. There is no savior, actually, to be honest with you. The savior is yourself. In the end, you're going to save yourself from your own anxiety, your own fear, your own depression, whatever it is. You'll have a support system. You'll have friends. If you need friends, we are here for you. The VSW will listen to any rants, raves, or anything that anybody has to talk about at any time. Message us on any platform. We'll sit here and listen. We are definitely there for you. 110%. That's without doubt. A good support system. Like I said, if you need medical intervention with doctors, therapists, whatever that might be, then go for it. Get the help you need. Don't hide behind, and feel ashamed of and all this. Just, take over your life and do whatever you need to do to gain that control back.
I'd say that especially rings true for us males because we're programmed to believe that we can't show emotion, we can't seek out help, we have to hold everything in internally. But over time, it's like it's going to come back to bite you in the ass.
It surely will. You know what? There is no need to hold your emotion back. There is no need to be this stone wall all the time. It's not actually emotional healthy. It's not physical healthy. It's not good for your hormonal system. We are balanced human beings, men and women. Yes, we might have different hormonal levels and different hormones, but there's a balance, and we're balanced for a reason. It's okay to not hold back sometimes. Holding back can be a very dangerous thing, especially if you boggle your emotion up for too long and one of those explosive people and wait till it's just too long. It's not going to help anybody. It's going to become your self-destructive path.
The analogy I use is it's like a bottle of soda. You shake it up, then you open it up, and then everything just comes exploding out.
Exactly. It's not going to be like, you think you're doing it in the moment to help and not, put on, whatever is going on. You just don't want to push it aside. Well, keep pushing it aside, and eventually it is that bottle. Shake, 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 shake. Kaboom. That's very bad. There's other things to think about, every day you're going to probably get agitated, mad, angry at something. There is a way to handle that too. You don't need to knock out everybody that pisses you off.
I'd say that's the key. These issues will never go away. It's really just how you deal with them and how you react to them.
Or how do you just live around them, really? Yeah. I do a lot of things. A lot of it I have to just ignore unless it directly involves me directly. And if it affects me directly, then I'm in it. But if it doesn't, and it's not hurting anybody per se, or it's not, it's just stupid ignorance, then I have to just kind of move on. I can't fight every battle. But most of the time it's just learning how to live with these things. You know that you're going to get agitated. You know you're going to probably lose your temper. And just go with it. With anxiety comes temper for me. And maybe for others too. All this anxiety and fear has nowhere to go. It either can go into depression mode, where it will send you spiraling downward into this self-worthlessness of, just pity and I can't explain it. I've been down that path before. It's not fun. The other way it goes for me is in a spiral of just energy and there's no place to put that energy but into anger. And if I, in an ideal situation, I can use that to my advantage. I can go work out. I can use that energy to, train, boxing, gym, whatever the hell it might be. Use all that negative energy and just push it, push. And with the endorphins and everything else booming, you'll have extra strength, extra this and that. Otherwise, you're a crabby-ass bastard all single day. And I've lived like that too, just being crabby and agitated and angry and not having nowhere to put that anger except just letting it just sit there and just being a crab pot. That anger is, the byproduct of the anxiety. It's part of it, and it's something that has to be released and in a positive manner.
I would say too that a good way to battle mental health problems is you should have hobbies that you're invested into, because when you have too much free time to yourself, it can really put you on a negative path. So it's good to have hobbies, have something to look forward to, be involved in a community. Wrestling for me, that helps with my mental health. I treat it as a temporary escape from reality. I don't take it to heart. I just watch it for some goofy entertainment.
I think a lot of fans do. I think it is that escape. You could have the worst day and put on a wrestling show and, for 2 to 3 hours, you're in a different world and you don't have to be there. A lot of people do that with movies as well.
That's honestly why I liked Raw so much growing up, because, like you said, if I had a crappy day at school, well, I can just turn on USA at 9 o'clock and then...
You know, that's why I'm not 100%, you know, I'll just really quickly say that even though it's off topic, that's why I'm not 100% opposed to a goofier style, you know, wrestling show. It doesn't need to be 100% real because it does break us out of that reality chamber. I remember, you know, the day Kobe died, there was a pay-per-view. I forget which one, but I mean, at least it was something to watch and kind of just...
Oh,
you know,
Royal Rumble.
Yep, take my mind off of that. You know, wrestling is definitely an escape for me as well, whether it me be going to indie shows, me doing research, me watching shows, me doing work about it, me just in wrestling as it is. You know, I do. You know, that's what my escape is from this anxiety. You know, the podcast has also been another great escape, putting all my effort and work into it. You know, me and Disabled Wolf, he's not here today. He's actually at his rail job. So I took Panchu along with me to do this quick episode about mental health. And we're going to be doing it again. We're going to be setting it up where more and more people can get involved and have a discussion on it. How it affects you. How do you deal with it? You know, let's get more people talking. Let's normalize it a little bit. It doesn't have to be this, you know, big hush secret. We all know that we suffer from anxiety. Everybody does. Everybody has depression. Everybody thinks bad thoughts about themselves. You know, everybody wants to be the better person. Everybody wants to look better. Everybody wants to be better. Everybody wants to be stronger, faster, make more money. You know, everybody wants to be like who's on TV. You know,
everybody wants to be the best version of themselves that they can put out to the world.
You know, and just that pressure alone can cause, you know, anxiety if you never had it before. And that's just the world we live in. It doesn't have to be so, you know, taboo, so to speak. The veils can come down on this one.
It should definitely be normalized. We live in a very, very competitive world, so taking care of your mental health and seeking out help is, I would say, a non-negotiable.
Oh, it's not. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I mean, yes, we live in a very competitive world, but what kind of competition are you going to be if your mind is not on the right level? You know, and this goes down from basic things to taking, you know, and getting the right amount of sleep, eating the right amount of food and calorie intake. You know, people don't think about, you know, diet as being part of mental health. It most certainly is. What you eat affects your mental health greatly. You know, I went on a plant-based diet for a while, and I'll tell you, I was never more mentally clearer in my life. If you eat fast food all the time, you're going to feel very cloudy, depressed, and, you know, you just will. It'll calorie count what you eat, you know, what kind of foods you eat. A lot of starchy foods, a lot of carb foods are going to bring you down, while some high protein or, you know, fruits will bring you up.
Oh, yeah. Soda, chips, it feels good in the moment, but in the long term, you're really just killing yourself.
You know, the bumping crash, you know, it's not good. You know, and that all plays into a factor in your mental health as well. And like I said, how much sleep you get. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you up all night worrying? You know, that's going to play a different role. You know, even basic things that you're waking up, showering, are you doing basic needs that you need?
I've been there before. I'm sure we all have. Just laying in bed at night and worrying about where you're going to be next week, in a year, 5 years.
Exactly. I mean, once those thoughts come at night, it's very hard to get rid of them. There's no easy way. I mean, the CBT actually helped me with that, doing those, you know, I call them mind tricks. They're not really, you know, they're little mind exercises. They snap you back in the moment, and it's able to help me relax at night to go to sleep. But otherwise, it can be a very long night. Social media has made it very easy for insomniacs to have a place to live. We can stay up all night, you know, scrolling, tweeting, talking, and there's plenty of us out there that don't sleep at night that are out there doing the same exact thing. And, it, you know, 20, 30 years ago, we would have nothing to do. You know, maybe I'd put on, you know, a movie or something. Now I can do anything at 2, 3 in the morning. I can start ordering groceries from store 24. You know, I can do anything I want. The world is different now, and, you know, you got to look at this stuff. Are we getting enough rest? Are we doing this? Are we too much time on the phones itself? You know, that's another mental health issue.
I would say so. We exist more in the device than we do in person.
You know, I was actually reading an article the other day about digital sickness, and it's a real actual illness that this lady felt. She was dizzy. She was mentally not unfit, but she was having, like, agitation and different things, and they basically diagnosed it as she was on her phone way too much, doing way too much scrolling, too much information. There's something about information overload. There's too much reading, too much stuff all at once. We're always bombarding ourselves with stuff constantly, whether it be through scrolling or not. Whether we're scrolling, there's always, every couple of scrolls, there's a commercial or there's, an ad. There's posts that we don't like. There's stuff that's going to make us angry. There's stuff that makes us sad. We see people that are sick. We see this. We see a lot of negativity. We see a lot of positivity. We get a lot of that information all at once, very quickly on the internet. And it's overloading. It really is. I don't know if people understand that, but it takes a while to process all that information at once. We've been accustomed now to just processing it all in a second as we swipe through and click like, dislike,
Very true.
frown, whatever it might be. That's what we're accustomed to now, and it's crazy. It's not mentally healthy at all. It's insane. But this is the world we live in. How do we do it? Maybe we unplug the devices for a little bit. Maybe we set aside time to not have any devices. Maybe you take your phone, you put it on airplane mode, so you're not bothered during, for a good amount of time by the outside world.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay to cut yourself off from this plug. You're not going to miss anything. When you go back on, whatever was there 2 hours ago that happened on Twitter is still going to be there. Those posts are not going anywhere. No one's going anywhere.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, the zombie post, very good example.
Still there.
The zombies devoured the Miz.
Yep, it's still there. It's still there. It's not going anywhere. So, I mean...
But, yeah, for me personally, it might sound weird, but I work out without my device. Believe it or not, when I work out with my device, I just waste so much time.
What do you do for music?
For music, mostly rock and metal music, but...
And what are you listening to it out of if you're not using your device?
Oh, I just work out with no electronics at all. I keep my phone out of reach.
Oh, so they just have, whatever's playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm, more in the zone.
I know, I'm thinking about getting, an old-school iPod that just has music on it, and so it doesn't have anything smart, just so I can listen to songs while I'm at the gym or walking or doing whatever. Because, I like to listen to music, I really do, but my phone has become my number one musical friend. And with that comes, even if I go to change or look for a song, I got to go in through, I got 20 posts here, notifications, everything's going crazy, all the social media accounts are up, people are messaging me. It can be a lot. Even, like I said, taking the time.
I can only imagine how hard it is for you because you're running a podcast and every time you get a notification, it's like, I have to answer that right away or am I going to lose this potential client?
It is. It can be stressful at times because there is a lot going on. As things were opening up very fast right now, there's a lot of things to cover. I try to do my best to cover them all. I put a lot of stress on myself for this. I take pride in what I do. I take pride in the New England wrestling scene. I take pride in, the shows that I support. I take pride in the wrestlers that I talk to. I do a lot to try to talk to them, to try to, them to get to know me to get to know them, get the world to know them. And you're right, I'll get messages, I have to answer it fast. I reach out to people. If I don't get back to them, I feel like either I'm going to lose them or I'm not. Everything's a rush world. It's a lot of stress. But it's a lot of fun. It's rewarding at the end. I'm not saying I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. I'm just saying doing anything can be, if you do anything successful and you do anything with 100% and you put yourself into it at 100%, there's going to be stressful times, and no matter what it is, whether you're, anything. I could tell you stressful stories about collecting and what it's like to be a collector and how hard it is to do that and to run into, when you go into 12 stores and you're trying to beat eBay prices and, your mental health gets into a mindset of you need, it's not even you want anymore, it's that you need it.
For sure. Even going to WrestleMania, just getting tickets, waiting in that virtual line.
And then imagine, when you went to, you probably saw it even more firsthand, how people get that need in their eyes, like when you went to WrestleCon or when you went to, Access, you see these fans that they need to fulfill something. And that's through whatever they need to do, whatever their mission is, whether it's to get that figure, buy it, whether it's to meet that wrestler, to get it signed. We put this great stress on ourselves to do it. But you see the fans do it, they'll wait in line, they'll be agitated, they'll get mad. Yeah. If things change, they get really agitated very fast. If the plan isn't the same, they don't get to see who they want to meet. It becomes not fun anymore. It becomes a job, becomes a stress. A lot of things in the world become a job, become a stress if we allow it to. If we don't...
For sure, and I feel that...
we can have a lot of fun. In what you do, it's great. If once it starts to get to not being fun, you got to step back and ask yourself why it's not fun anymore. What's making it not fun? 90% of the time, you're putting some kind of standard on yourself
Yeah.
that you can easily drop and make this fun. You know, I know what I have to do for my podcast. I know in my head mentally what shows I need to cover, when I need to get them out. I know that I might not get them out when I want to, but they'll all be gotten out in time.
Gotcha.
If they don't, the world is not going to end. I'm not the only one doing it. There's other podcasts out in the world. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I do take pride in what I do, and if I say something, I do it. I'm not going to say that. I'll give it 125% to get it done, but if it was to ever fail, I wouldn't say, oh my God. Things happen. It is part of life. These stresses got to be put aside, and that will help you too, mentally, feel better. We don't weigh ourselves down with these mental weights that we set on ourselves.
I meant to ask about that. Do you feel a lot of the wrestling fan bases like that, they put these weights on them purposely, like they purposely destroy their mental health just being so immersed in the product and just taking it to heart?
I think some fans get wrapped up into it. It all depends, what came first, the chicken or the egg. If you go into something with a mental health issue, how do you perceive it? How do you look into it? How does it affect you? How does it touch you? Wrestling is a very emotional thing. It is meant to play with our emotions, whether it's a good way, bad way, anyway. It's part of the entertainment that makes wrestling wrestling. Besides that, we got the physicality and the brutality and the fighting. That's great. But then there's the other half, and without it, it does not make it wrestling, pro wrestling anyways, and that's the entertainment end. And that's meant to play with us. So how you walk into that situation kind of perceives and kind of determines how you're going to end up with it. Now, have I seen fans take it way too far because of a storyline? Yes, I have. Have I seen fans that are unstable go into a situation in wrestling that they probably shouldn't have? Yes. Have I've seen people walk in and out? Yes, I've seen that too. It's like I said, all how you let the touch. Now, I watch wrestling personally to escape.
Same here.
I'm not going to really get too bent out of shape on a wrestling-related issue that takes place, whether it be, a booking issue, whether it be a match, whether it be a botch, whether it be, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. It's part of the entertainment. It entertained me. It did its job. If it's a real-world situation, yeah, that's a little different.
I'd say when Goldberg beat the Fiend, that's when a lot of fans really got bent out of shape.
I mean, did I disagree with the opinion? Yes. Did I think it was stupid? Yes. Was I vulgar about it? Yes. Did I lose sleep over it? No. Did I hate myself because of it? No. Did I go on a crazy rant that wrestling's dead and this is that and it'll never be back like the Attitude Era and oh my God and this and that? No. It's just part of the sport. It's part of the thing. There's going to be decisions that, I might like that you don't like. There's going to be decisions you like that I don't like.
Yeah.
There's going to be decisions that everybody hates. There's going to be decisions that everybody loves. That's part of the sport too. You can't make everybody happy. And I think everybody does as best a job as to try, but they can't. They just can't. It's not possible. Not feasible.
For sure. Especially during the last year we've had, to be honest.
Definitely after this last year. This year's been horrible for fans, for everybody. We haven't had the wrestling events to go to. A lot of fans like to get out, once a month or once a week. Not saying they don't go out, but to go out, and see other fans and other wrestling fans especially, and, you go to the same show together, you guys shoot the shit, how you doing, how's it going, and next month you see each other again. We didn't get all that fun during the pandemic, it was very isolating, we didn't get shows, we didn't get this. If you were lucky enough to be a wrestler and had a, place to train, cool. If you were lucky enough and had a promotion that, had a running show that was able to tape, awesome. But it didn't help fans, it didn't help the wrestlers that couldn't, and it didn't, it wasn't able to do that, so it was a very lonely time. Now, things are starting to open up, and I could see it last night. I went to a show. People were much more happier than, let's say, 3 months ago. People looked forward to it. People were happy. People were happy to be there. They were happy to see each other. People gave me hugs. People, shook my hand. It was a lot of fun. It was something, that I haven't experienced in a while because of the, what everything that happened in the pandemic.
For sure. That's about it for me. I got nothing else to really cover.
Neither do I right now. But I'm going to
from the
say,
hip.
that was a great, a little talk, the world of mental health. We're going to do more. If you're interested, reach out. You know where I am
Definitely.
at. Versace Stoner, Mike Banju, Disabled Wolf. You can hit any of the accounts, set it up. We'll have a discussion. We'll talk. We're going to work out something so we can get multiple guests. I'm trying to just figure out logistics. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. It's a very strong topic, something here at the VSW that we believe in. So it's something that we're going to continue to support, promote, and push, even after the month's over. It's a very important topic, and it's something that shouldn't be, pushed aside. With that being said, I'm going to say Versace Stoner out. And, like I said, you want to talk about it, reach out to us if you need help or anything, and you feel like you got no one to talk to, reach out to us, talk to us. We're here. We're not monsters. We'll talk to you. We'll help if we can. We'll do whatever we can. That's part of being human. That's part of being a friend. That's part of just being. Thank you, everybody.